Hey guys, Sharif here. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can take your measly dropshipping store from zero to no revenue to doing consistent back-to-back six-figure months. And this is backed by proof. I'm showing you live right here, right now. So don't go and comment dropshipping is dead, because it's literally not. And I'm showing you exact proof of that. Taking a store from nothing to literally doing over six figures a month consistently, back to back to back. So let's get right into it. Okay, not gonna waste any of your time. I know you guys are busy trying to play your next Clash Royale game or whatever. So take notes, lock in. $500 in the month of December of 2024. Yes, even the great dropshipper of all time, aka me, Sharif Mohsen, has failed product tests. These are all products I tried and unfortunately failed, even after the years and decades and multiple 40 years of experience that I have. So you can see I tried this product as well and it failed. So don't feel bad if a product is failing, because even the greatest of all time fails at their product tests. Until we came across this little bad boy right here. You can see the next month we scaled that thing to 130K a month, and then the following months that I already showed you. So this is possible for literally anybody, and I'm going to show you guys the simple method as to go about it. I'm going to dive deep into each of these sections a little later in the video. So again, lock in, pay attention, put your phone away, put your Clash Royale away, or whatever you guys got going on. So number one is finding a product. This is the first step in this whole entire formula. Again, I'm going to dive deep into it later, but after you find the product, you want to build a product page for it. After the product page is built, get some creatives, throw them into some Facebook ads, and if it works, Chad, scale the budget up to $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a day. And if it doesn't, go ahead and repeat this entire cycle until you land on something that works for you. So anyway, let's dive deep into this method. But before I do that, I want to show you guys sort of some motivation or some into depth day by day, because I know a lot of people will stop running a product if they see a negative $92 profit day. So this was the first day of me actually running this product. We did $59 in sales off of $134 in ad spend. So again, only 2 orders, but if you're getting a sale off the first day of testing, that's usually a good sign. So let's go into day 2. We spent $92 to make 89 back. I had to do a few refunds, so we're at 18. That's what Shopify says, but we made $89, which leaves us with $29 in profit. Day 3, we did $122 in sales off of $143 in ad spend. So again, we were negative around $57. Now let's go over to day 4 through 6. So day 4, we did $159 in revenue. I launched a new campaign as non-flex creatives, just to test a little bit more, and we did negative 152. So that's why our ad spend was a little higher. I was trying to test a few more things. Next day, we did $481 in sales off of $387 in ad spend. So you can see we netted negative $50. Congrats. Next day, we did $833 in sales off of around $427 in ad spend, which left us with $155 in profit. So you can see we literally were not profitable up until day 6. So let's go over to day 7 through 9. We spent $720 on ads, and we made $1,000 in sales, leaving us with $53 in profit. Again, we're near break even. Day 8, we spent $880 on ads and made back $1,700 in sales, leaving us with $370 in profit. Last but not least, day 9, and you guys get the point, but we did 1.3K in ad spend and made back $2,500 in sales, leaving us with a profit of $420. $420. Okay. So you guys can see this is sort of the process. So I just want to show you that if a product is negative, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. So let's go down into the steps on each of these things. So the number one thing is the product. This was not the product. This is an example product. However, you want to make sure the product solves a common problem, especially if you're a beginner, you basic beginner dude who's trying to just make money online. Products that solve a problem is going to be the easiest things to sell. And I'll give you a few examples, but the next thing is multiple angles for the product. So for example, this neck firming cream can not only be used for the neck, but another angle, it could be for your cellulite on your thighs or legs or wherever else, you know? So going into the next one, we want to make sure it's not commonly found in stores. If the product can be bought in Target, then people are just going to drive to Target and buy it. And again, you guys have probably already heard some of these things, but again, keep watching. I'm going to go into more depth on these. Trending on TikTok, but not Facebook, is another one. That's sort of the meta right now, and sort of why it's a good sign if it's trending on TikTok and people are actually buying the product on TikTok is simply due to the fact that TikTok and Facebook have one thing in common, and it's that it's a creative platform. It's a platform where people aren't going on there to necessarily buy this neck firming cream, but if they see a video for it, the video will sell the product and they're going to make this impulse purchase. So they're both impulse buy platforms in comparison to like Amazon, which is more just like a search engine and people only go on there if they have an intention to buy something, which basically means if a product is selling on TikTok or TikTok Shop, it has a high likely chance of also selling on Facebook. So that's exactly why we want to find products that are trending on TikTok, but not on Facebook, so that we can bring it over to Facebook. And you guys get the point. $15 to $20 margin minimum is what I like, just because Facebook ads are getting expensive. So you want to have a little bit of cushion. 20 to 25 is better, and at least a 3x markup. And no, this doesn't mean find a product that's selling for $3 on AliExpress and sell it for $9 on your website. You want to have at least a $15 to $20 margin. And last point here that I didn't mention is having potential for subscriptions. If it's a product that has some sort of subscription potential, that's also going to help out a lot in the long term. So now that we have that down, we're going to go over to markets worth betting on, which are all these problem solving niches. So again, think of muscle soothers, joint ease, tension relief, anything that can get your end customer or user to their desired outcome as fast as possible will be easier to sell. For example, if you're selling a hair loss cream or hair loss, whatever, and the results are instant or the results are fast and get to the end goal that they want to as fast as possible, that purchase and that sale is going to be made way, way easier than if it were a product that takes 2 years to be effective. So for example, memory, mood, products that promote better sleep, energy or recovery, skin clearing, hair removal systems. These are just examples of a bunch of different niches with problem solvers in them. So areas I would avoid is fashion and apparel. They just have way too many SKUs and variants. So let's say somebody purchases a pair of shoes from you. Most likely it's going to be a sizing issue, a comfort issue, or even clothing. There's going to be a sizing issue, especially coming from China. So you're going to have to deal with a lot of returns and refunds and so many different colors, so many different variants. I would stay away from fashion and apparel. You guys can take a look at this, but let's go ahead and find some products that meet this criteria. So I like to use this tool, Calidata. You guys have probably heard of this a million times, but essentially it's a software that shows a bunch of products that are actively selling on TikTok Shop. And we want to just go ahead and select launch date within 30 days. And we're going to go ahead and click submit. And these are just going to show you products that have been launched in the past 30 days. And we just want to go across something that catches our eye. Obviously, it has to meet the other criteria. But for example, these NAD capsules right here, the chart looks pretty good. It was launched pretty recently. I know that this isn't a new product. It's probably just launched by another brand. But you guys can see that they're doing 9K per day, and this chart is on an uptrend, and this is selling really, really good on TikTok Shop. And if you go over to video and ads, it'll show you which pieces of content are doing most of the selling. So you guys can see this piece of content right here made 14K in sales, and this one right here made 5K in sales. And you can just keep scrolling on here and look for different products that are new and are hot on TikTok Shop and aren't selling on Facebook. For example, this one right here as well. This is a pretty new product. It was launched on the 20th and they're already doing around 10K per day. And if you can transition this product over to Facebook and get content for it and all that, you can literally print out the. So if you want a whole in-depth product research video, you can watch my previous video. But again, you don't want to be looking where everybody else is looking. A lot of people are using this tool. So you want to go to page 6, 7, 8, 9, like go back to the pages where people might not be looking, because you don't want to see the same products and sell the same products everybody else is. Okay, now going to the website, I would highly recommend staying away from general stores and one product stores. The reason is, let's say you have a one product store called dogcollars.com. Now you're selling dog collars, and let's say you start running ads and it just doesn't work. You're gonna have to make a new website for your new product, which let's say is lashcurlers.com. And let's say that doesn't work. You're then gonna have to scrap this website and this website and go ahead and make another website. And it just takes way, way too much time. So what we're gonna do is do something known as the hybrid store method. So I like to make all my stores in a hybrid fashion. Now, if you're wondering what is a hybrid store and what would the name be, it would be something general where you can sell any products on there. So for example, shop Avela. The word Avela doesn't really mean anything, and you can sell dog collars and lash curlers on Shop Avela. So let's say the dog collars don't work. All you have to do is hide the product and import some lash curlers and start selling it on this same website. Now, the reason the word shop is here is just because these generic names like Avela.com are most likely taken. So we add the word shop or try or whatever in front of it, just so that it makes the domain available. But making a hybrid store like this is what we want to do. And again, for example, this right here is Weem Co. The word Weem doesn't mean anything. They could sell dog products and brand it as the word Weem, or they could sell whatever they want. The word Weem isn't something that is tied to supplements. But anyway, going back to the next thing is you want to make sure you're not just using Shrine theme. Shrine theme, don't get me wrong, is great, but with dropshipping, you want to stray away from what everybody else is doing. If everybody's using Shrine, try to be a little different, try to be unique in your own way and use something else. So again, Shrine theme is not a bad theme, but try not to use what everybody else is using or do what everybody else is doing. If everybody's looking for products in one place, try to switch it up. Try to be creative and come up with something yourself. So next thing is AI generated images. This is really, really powerful. So for example, let's say you come across a product that you want to sell, and let's say it happens to be this neck firming cream. So if you go into ChatGPT and type in this prompt right here and just add the image or blurry product image from AliExpress or whatever, you can literally get a high quality product image like this. So I literally just took a screenshot of this product. You can see it's blurry, it's lame, it's not really looking nice or high perceived value in any way, and put it in here and put this prompt right under it. And now we have a high quality version and image. And this immediately looks like it's worth $40 just because of this image versus this image right here where it looks like it's a cheap piece of product or whatever. So you want to make sure you're using AI generated images on your website. That definitely helps a lot. Next thing is you want to have a ton of reviews, ton of social proof, a ton of images of the product. And going into the last one, keep it simple and easy to read. Now, if you want a custom store built for you with existing products loaded up on there, go ahead and click the link below, create your free account, and then go ahead and fill out the store builder form. So go ahead and click start your store, choose your color, and fill out all this information, and a preloaded store with existing products will be sent to you. You don't need to go all out in the beginning and make a website like this, but you can see that this website has AI generated images. Like, I'm pretty sure these people are all AI. If not, they look AI, so I'm not sure where they got their images, but here's another website example that's pretty good. And this one, they use AI, and not only do they use AI, but they have all these different high perceived value elements. They have this little bag right here, this box, a little ebook there, and you can easily generate images like this through ChatGPT. So you can go down and you can see all these are AI. Like, these are all just AI images of people holding the product. So you guys can easily replicate AI images and have higher quality and higher perceived value on your website. You don't need to get a whole brand photo shoot or whatever. So going on to the next one, which is creatives. You have your product, you have your website. Now you just need creatives for it. So what you can do is rip ads from TikTok or CaloData. So for example, if we're on CaloData right here, you can click video and ad and download these videos right here and just import them into Facebook. Now, initially, when you're first starting, you could do this just to test to see if a product works, or you can go to TikTok, search the product, and download existing clips. Later on, you can start just editing the existing content, just taking the clips and editing them yourself. And you can also get AI videos using software. So you can get AI avatars to speak about the product, and I'll show you guys how to do that actually. And image ads are another one. Image ads are very slept on. The store I was actually running, I've majority used image ads. Obviously, I still use videos, but if you guys sort of want like an all-in-one hub to get access to sort of all this, you can use my team over at Bands Off Ads, and you guys can pretty much get all your creatives and everything you need from here. So you can get Facebook ads, TikTok ads, AI ads, and image ads. And trust me, image ads are heavily slept on. Now, if you want AI actors, you can go to bandsofads.ai, and you can go over to the create video under the AI UGC creator, click create video, type in your script here so we can generate a script with AI. And let's say we're selling dog collars. We'll just put in dog collars. We're not going to really try too much. Generate an AI script, and it will sort of just generate an AI script for us and import it right here. And once that looks good, you can click next and just choose one of your favorite actors or whichever person you think matches best. Click on next, and then you can generate a preview of the audio just so you can see if you actually like the audio here. And then you can go ahead and play the audio. If it's good, click on next, and then enter the video name right here just as a reference, and then click on create video. and your video should be created in literally 3 to 7 minutes.
Hey friends, I just have to share this amazing find with you. I recently got a new collar for my dog, and it's a game changer.
So that's how you can go ahead and actually get creatives or start getting pieces of content to actually start testing your product. Once that's done, we're going to have to go in Facebook and start running our campaign. So sort of the campaign structure I like to use and what I did use for this product is one CBO. We're going to have multiple ad sets. You can have 3 to 5 different ad sets within that CBO. And we're going to want to leave everything broad. It's 2025. We don't need to do any of that interest targeting. We're just going to leave it broad. And I like to have 3 to 5 different creatives. And I tested both Flex and regular creatives. They both ended up performing, but you guys can either have all the creatives in one Flex creative, or you can have creative 1, creative 2, or creative 3. So you can decide on whatever works best for your ad account. And I would run the campaign at a $100 budget and run it for 3 days minimum. Obviously, if your results are terrible and crap, especially in the beginning, you guys can stop the test and readjust it. But again, also for each creative, we want 3 primary texts, 2 headlines, and 1 description. So that's sort of what we're going to put for each of these creatives, and then we're just going to let this run. So again, just to explain it, we have the entire campaign. We have ad set number 1, ad set number 2, ad set number 3, and you sort of want each ad set to have its own angle. So you can put different creatives on arthritis, for example, and all these creatives can align with the arthritis angle. You can have sitting at desk angle if it's like a posture corrector, for example, and have 3 creatives for that. Or you can have an old age targeting people who are just old and have 3 creatives for that. So you want to leave the actual ad groups broad, but you want to make sure the creatives are what's doing the targeting. So your creatives are going to be targeting old people. Your creatives are going to be people sitting at a desk and having back pain from their workplace or whatever. And your creatives are going to be people dealing with arthritis. So in 2025, the creatives are what's going to do the targeting for you. So you don't need to go and do interest-based targeting. Okay, so once all this is done, let's go over this cheat sheet right here. So number 1, if your cost per click is high, which typically anything over $1 is considered pretty high, you want to make sure you improve your creative and your copy. If your CPM is high, you want to make sure you try new creatives. If your CTR, which means your click-through rate, if that's low, try some new hooks on your creatives. Maybe they're not engaging enough. Now, let's say your CTR is high. A lot of people are clicking from your ad onto your website, but you're not getting any sales. You want to make sure your creative and your offer are aligned, or your offer just needs improvement. Now, if you're getting add to carts but no sales, make sure you fix the checkout. Go through the checkout yourself. Make sure the regions that people are going to your website from are able to actually check out. You'd be surprised how many people just don't have the US or Canada or wherever they're from as an available shipping option. So make sure your checkout is working if you're getting a lot of add to carts. Okay, so after we have this down, let's go over to killing. How do you know when to turn off specific ad groups? So obviously, since this is a CBO, it's going to allocate budget to whatever Facebook thinks that is going to work best. However, sometimes ad groups do get spend and tend to not get results. In those cases, you want to turn them off if it is below your break-even ROAS. So what's your break-even ROAS, you may be asking? Go to this website, Bands Off Ads ROAS calculator, put in your cost of goods. Let's say you get your product from China for, let's say $7 and you're selling it for $28. Your break-even ROAS is 1.33. So anything that's under 1.33, you can turn off. So if your ROAS on Facebook is 1.2, that means it's not profitable. Again, I would be a little bit more lenient on this in the beginning, especially. The next one is if it has a CPC, a cost per click of anywhere from 3 to 5, that's really bad in most niches. If it has a CPM of above 25, and lastly, if it has below a 2% CTR. These are some signs that you can catch early on and determine if you want to turn off an ad group or not. But again, if this benchmark is above your break-even ROAS, no matter how bad these metrics are, just let it keep running. If you're profitable, no matter how bad these metrics are, there's no point in turning it off. So keep it running if it's profitable, and then whenever you do turn off an ad group, reintroduce a new angle. So yeah, reintroduce a copy of a winning one. Let's say this one worked. Just turn this one off and make another copy of this and make more creatives based off the arthritis angle or whatever it ends up being. So that's what I would recommend for killing. Going on to an example here. Again, just a little note, if it's profitable, you don't need to look at the other metrics like the cost per link click and all that stuff. Just leave it. So for example, right here, we spent $70 on this and we made back 24. our ROAS is 0.35, which is not good. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off. Right here, we spent 67 and made back 49, leaving our return, our ROAS, with 0.74. And again, you can sort of see that these metrics are also pretty bad. And the one ad group that we spent 72 on and made back 321 has a 4.4 ROAS, also resulting in a cheaper CPC. So just because this has a good CTR, it doesn't mean you should leave this on if it's not profitable. So this is just an example of turning ad sets on and off. Okay, so now that we have this down, we're gonna go over to scaling. So let's say your overall campaign is profitable. There's ad groups within there that are working. How do we actually scale it? So our CBO is what's going to be distributing the budget to all these ad groups. So in order to scale, we're just gonna bump the CBO budget up. So if it's already at 100, let's move it to 250, from 250 to 500, from 500 to 1,000. And Facebook's just gonna keep allocating budget to these ad groups. And essentially what the game is you just want to give Facebook the best ad groups to allocate budgets to. So the more ad groups that it has and the more proven these ad groups are, the higher profitability you're going to be seeing. So for example, let's say concept 1, arthritis, worked really, really well, and you make more duplicates of this with different creatives and different angles and different texts, Facebook is going to have more winning options to allocate its budget to. So not only are you going to be more consistent with results just because there's a lot more ad groups for it to allocate budget to, but it's also going to be profitable because you're building off the back of a proven concept. So you guys can go ahead and increase the CBO budget accordingly depending on your situation, but this is how you scale. It's pretty simple. We're just going to scale within the existing campaign. We're not going to move ad groups into another campaign. We're not going to make duplicates and all that fluff. So now let's go over to longevity. How do we actually keep this consistent? So we're going to constantly be adding new angles and creatives. You can also set minimum spend limits for fair tests. Sometimes when you have a lot of ad groups, even though Facebook does allocate to what it thinks it works, sometimes you're going to have ad groups that just don't get any spend. So what you can do is set a minimum spend of like $10 for each ad group. And you can simply do that by clicking all these ad groups, going over here and clicking on minimum spend limit and setting a minimum spend limit of around $10, meaning each of these ad groups are going to get a minimum of $10 spent. So sort of forcing spend to it to see if it actually works or not. Also, I do like to keep the image and video campaigns separated. Also, if you're targeting different countries and just things like that. And you just want to keep cycling new concepts and creatives. The CBO will keep allocating budget to the best performers, and it's just going to be a cycle, and it's a game of constantly adding new videos, new creatives, new images, and just feeding Facebook's algorithm with content to give out to its platform users. So I know I went over quite a lot, but for those of you who are trying to get into e-commerce and just haven't found any success yet, or for those of you wanting to scale and optimize your existing operations, I did recently open one-on-one, and for the past 5-6 years of me doing this, I've never offered one-on-one. So if you guys are looking to get some one-on-one direct access, click the link below and see if you do qualify. And obviously this information was just the tip of the iceberg, but for those of you wanting to see something like this where you're literally at nothing and you scale a store to over 6 figures per month consistently using branded dropshipping, again, click the link below, see if you qualify. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.